What's up, YouTube, and welcome back. So, today you are on a very different course on NCH Software Academy, and in this powerful course, we will be focusing on mastering color grading in VideoPad. So, color grading is a very important aspect of video editing, and is very complex and should be studied and understood in detail. So right now, I'll try my level best to make sure that you guys try to understand exactly what you need to know about color grading in VideoPad. So the first thing that I would love to talk about in this episode, as you have already saw the title, we'll be focusing on what's called an exposure. So a lot of people will ask, someone will ask, what is an exposure? So an exposure can be simply defined as a tool which is used in video editing or also in photography to correct the exposure of an image or a video clip. But please note one thing, but you cannot fix the image perfect when it's overexposed or underexposed, because you will lose a lot of details. If it's underexposed, you will there will be a lot of noise in the image. So let me just try to do a practical example. So you just click on that FX, then it will open this, then you go straight to your exposure. Let's go straight to our exposure. This is where we found our exposure. Click it once. So our exposure is currently on 2.0525, of which is a very good one. Let's put it on 00. That is our image without an exposure. You can see from here, you can also see from this direction, but let's just move it and put it here in the middle. You can see from this direction both sides. So if we decided to push it down, let's push our image a little bit downwards. We decided to push by negative 0.30, so our image gets darker. That means we are making our image highly underexposed. So if you do notice, let me just put this on 0. So if you do notice, my image, this video clip looks great. This video image looks great, but it is nearly overexposed. It is not overexposed, but it was nearly I don't know how I can explain this. It is not overexposed, but it is moving. It is more on the side of an overexposed. It is not underexposed. It is more exposed than underexposed. So we gotta fix that. How do we fix it? So we come to that exposed panel. Then we try to decrease our exposure level a little bit downwards until we feel like our exposure that we are currently trying to fix is on a good level. So if it's on 0.14, I can confirm that it looks great, but I would love to try push it down a little bit until 17. It still looks great. I would love to push it down until 23. Still looks great. So that's a level that I need for my exposure. But that is not the only thing you need to focus on when you are dealing with your exposure. You don't just do this and you say, okay, that's all for me. So if your image is too dark, you'll need to increase a little bit of an exposure to make it more bright. But the moment if you increase it too much and you can see a lot of noise, don't even try to do it. Go and retake the picture. My advice for you, go and retake the picture. If your image is overexposed, like there's a lot of white here and you cannot differentiate between a flower and that green leaf, then go and take a new image or go and take a new video clip. So what we did here, we just made our image a little bit underexposed. So I will show you the next thing that you'll need to do. So let's go to add effects. We go downwards, go down. So VideoPad, I'm using VideoPad 13.30, and it is grouped, and I think even on the previous version they did dropped it. It was dropped. Then you can go to all color effects. This is what we'll be using on. This is one thing that we'll use most of the time. So after doing like your exposure, because like you were fixing your exposure, now you gotta decide you want to use an auto fix or an auto level. So I'll love to use an auto level just to see how my picture will look like when an auto level is applied. My image is getting more yellow, and I don't feel like, and I don't think that's something that I really want. Then we're going to remove this. Then we will try to use auto fix. Let's go back. Let's try auto fix. My image got a little, my image became a little bit brighter. My image got a little bit brighter, and I think like I do love like the coloring that was made. That is not all. I still have to show you one last thing. Okay, so after like adding those two things, there's one thing that you need to do. Yes, your color is looking a little bit yellowish, right? Your color is your image is looking a little bit yellowish. So now you gotta decide, am I keeping an auto fix or I am removing it? So to decide, you need to do one thing. You need to take your auto fix and put it below. Let your image to be exposed first, and under like leveling your image, that's when you auto fix. Let me try to explain this one more time. So using an auto fix before an expose, that means like you're making your image, your entire image, to that the software to try to auto fix it and everything on it. But what I want to do, I want my image, I want to expose my image the way I want it to be exposed. After exposing it, then I want to use an auto fix, then auto fix to fix what I have exposed. I hope you saw that, like the difference. Let me check this again. I put it on top so that you can see the difference. You see, it's very very bright. But if you take this and you put it below, your image become a little bit brighter and more and looks great. Your image become less bright and looks great, and you can see a flower. So guys, this is the first thing that you really need to understand, that you need to master. So to try to do a little bit of a summary on this, the first thing you need to do, you need to add a little bit, you need to add an exposure. You need to decide, is my image too bright or too dark? Then you adjust your exposure according to how your image looks like. If your image is too dark, you'll have to increase and make it more whiter. But if it's too white, you have to decrease it a little bit to make it more dark. So then you add an auto fix or an auto level. This is one of the most very powerful tools which really decide on how you want your image to be. For me, I like a more gamma kind of a video which is natural, but at the same time has a little bit of a crispiness on it. The perfect example of this, I'll just put an example of a video. You see this video, I'll just try to put a video so you can see like the kind of a color grading I really like, of which is a color grading that I'm currently going for in this specific video. So guys, that's all for this episode. I hope you did understand everything in this episode. I'll see you on the next episode. Thank you so much.
feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign. I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign.
I wanna be the greatest. Everybody on the fake shit. I look around and feel like everybody is the fakest. I make this every day and I'm impatient, hoping one day I blow up from the basement. Statement, the top is so vacant. I don't hear shit that I think is amazing. Waiting for my day when I'm playing sold out shows for 1,000 faces. Hey, give me that crown, get in my way and to be put down. It ain't your place, all this my town. If I want that shit, then I'll get it right now. I'm losing it, the noose it fits. I'm losing shit, a stupid myth. You choose to live or choose to dip. You choose to fight or lose your grip and lose a gift.
I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign. I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign.
Yeah. There's no mercy in this world, just hunger-thirsty persons in different versions. Each new update, that shit worsens. Why? Pull back the curtain and you'll see the different vermin. We all have different burdens that all seem to cause disturbance. Yo, so do me a favor, don't treat me like a neighbor. Don't need the different flavors of your problems just to savor. I've got my own issues, I need a comb to get through. Don't need to groan with you, just go get your own tissue.
I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign.